A massive injustice from the British government against one Irish family specifically basically tore them apart and had them wrongfully imprisoned for years. During a period that pitted the English versus the Irish called the Troubles, which lasted from the 1960s to the 1980s. This event happened in the 70s, and the family became known as the Maguire Seven. On October 5, 1974, the Irish Republican Army bombed 2 pubs in a town called Guildford, Surrey, roughly 30 miles from southwest London. The pubs were popular with British soldiers, and 5 people were killed, with many wounded. Backlash from the English against the Irish was brutal, and the police were under immense pressure to find those responsible. British police rounded up and arrested 46 people, including 3 men and 1 woman, who would become known as the Guildford Four. Officers used violence and abuse to get these 4 to falsely confess about being involved in the bombing, and in that false confession, 2 men accused a woman named Anne Maguire of teaching them how to make bombs. On December 3, 1974, police officers kicked in the front door of Anne Maguire's home, trashed the house, and arrested Anne, her husband Patrick, and other members of the family and friends who happened to be there. 2 of Anne's sons, Vincent and Patrick, were arrested even though they were simply coming home after work at the time. The Maguire Seven were charged with terrorist offenses, split up and taken to 2 North London police stations where they were tested by a young trainee scientist for bomb residue. The tests came back positive for nitroglycerine through very early techniques at the time. After a trial, the Maguire Seven were convicted. Anne and her husband would get 14 years, and everyone at the home would do years in jail. This would basically orphan the Maguires' youngest children, who wouldn't have access to their parents for years afterwards. This failure of the British justice system and the crooked police who manufactured the charges have had long-term and profound effects on a family whose only crime was being Irish. The convictions were quashed in 1991, and Tony Blair, the UK Prime Minister, issued an apology to the families in 2005.